Hello, Football is Life fans. Here we go. Welcome. Hope everyone's all right to the next instalment of Football is Life. I hope everybody's all right out there, having a good week, watching lots of football, enjoying themselves. Welcome to the channel. About 6 really important things to get into tonight. On what's been a quieter week after transfer deadline days ended. And not many midweek fixtures, but we've had the 2 big semi-finals and we now know who's going to Wembley. We have Man City versus Arsenal in a big final, and a final where if it was going to be a team that can stop Arsenal this year, then Man City could be the team on that one-off day. And you get the feeling that's going to be a big final at Wembley. So we'll have a quick look back at those semi-finals this week, which have been enjoyable. Didn't quite pan out where, one of the teams from the first leg that was behind could have really had a go. Come close, I suppose. But then on Wednesday night, the second one, Newcastle, got rolled over in the first half by a vibrant Man City once again. And, the rest was history on that night and they could never recover and it was too much. So, that's been good. Getting to Wembley has been good for those teams. We've got the weekend's fixtures of the Premier League to look forward to. And as it's been a quieter week, we're going to look at all the games on the weekend, give the times and days out and look to try and predict them, try and get a few hidden gems within them and a few predictions out. Last week was decent. We got a lot of the wins, draws or losses right. Well, not all right, a few right, but hard to predict the scores, but we'll try and get some scores this week. Let's have a better week, eh? Let's try and get some scores right. And looking at a nice debate, a bit of fan debate. We love fan debate and interaction. So, get following, comment, like, subscribe. I've got a big debate tonight. I've got a striker debate. Who is better? I won't reveal that yet. You'll have to keep watching to watch that one. And then we're going to look at a bit of Pep, what's going on there. And a birthday boy today, 41. It looks about 21. Cristiano Ronaldo, and a little look back there. And then, rounding up the Prem game. So let's crack on. Let's get into it. First one, we're just going to round up the Carabao. So Tuesday night, we had Chelsea travelling to Arsenal, 3-2 behind on aggregate. And, I predicted 2-2-2s. It didn't really pan out, did it? But I thought Chelsea gave a decent account of themselves. I think if you look at what Newcastle did last night, I think Rossini played it the right way. Tried to stay in the game. It was sensible. Got to half time, and then second half time tried to take a little bit more risk. But Arsenal defended well. You have to give them their credit. They kind of resorted Chelsea to long range efforts. Arsenal go through, but if you look at the Newcastle game, I think Rossini got it right. It's easy to say, we've lost the game, we're out of the cup, etc., etc. But, he did the right thing. He didn't go out of the tie in the first half after a first leg deficit, which is easy to do. Kept in the game, and I think they did try and risk more. They brought on attacking players for defensive-minded players and tried to have a bit of a go. But I just think Arsenal they're so good at the moment and they're so solid that if you're going to beat Arsenal, especially on their own patch at the Emirates, you've got to be top draw, you've got to be ruthless, and if you get chances, you've got to take them. And the fact that there wasn't many chances in the box and Arsenal limited them to more longer range efforts, it was comfortable for Arsenal, comfortable enough. And then obviously they pinched it right at the end, didn't they, with former Chelsea striker Kai Havertz scored a winning goal for Chelsea in the Champions League a few years back, getting the winner, touching the badge as well, which, really, we've had a pitch invasion as well, the players, and we're doing pitch invasions now for all sorts. Subs running on when goals are scored, pitch invasions to get to the Carabao Cup. Years ago, that was just seen as the Mickey Mouse Cup, wasn't it? It was like, get to the final with your reserve team if you do. If we're not bothered. But I think it's become more important. I think Pep's been part of that. Winning it kind of stems that winning mentality and creates that winning mentality. So it's definitely players, coaches, definitely feel like it's more important, and that's good because we want 3 competitions, domestic competitions that have got that kind of value on it. So yeah, it was interesting, and it was a London derby. So Arsenal players and supporters and coaching staff were they were running on the pitch and celebrating that. We had an interesting moment as well that's kind of gone a little bit viral, I suppose, where when Havertz has scored, people have said, well, Sanchez and Fernandes were celebrating. And if you actually look at it, the disappointment of Fernandes, like waving his arms when the goal first goes in, I think he was disappointed that he'd conceded it. And I think actually it was more of a reassurance thing from Enzo to kind of, don't worry, mate, you try and kind of give him a hug. I don't think it was any celebration. It was like, never mind. And there was a bit of reassurance from Enzo, from the captain. So it wasn't a celebration. I've seen the videos. People saying it's a celebration. That's just factually untrue. It was just reassurance in that moment. But yeah, Chelsea go out. Rossini has to concentrate on Europe now and the league and improving Chelsea. And then next year, good to go. Bring a couple more bodies in, probably knowing Chelsea on 12-year contracts or something. Probably from Strasbourg as well. But yeah, so they can focus on that. Arsenal go through. Arsenal for the quadruple. The odds of tumbling. Another final. Could they do the quadruple? Like I said, 2 legs. You don't fancy many teams knocking Arsenal out at the moment. Man City and Villa and your Chelsea, their development and Arsenal are the real deal, I think. So yeah, it's going to be the year that if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And because the other teams maybe are not on their level, and it's the biggest chance they're going to get to do it. Even maybe in European football, barring 2 or 3. So, yeah, good start to the show. Arsenal through. Can they do the quadruple? Let us know in the comments. It's a big ask. I don't know. You can't sit here and know. You can only make a hunch or a prediction. I think they can do it. I just think the longevity of... They've got the squad rotation now, they can do it. But it would be some amazing feat to do it. So, I mean, it'd be great. We'd be talking about it for years, wouldn't we? They'd be known for years, this team, if they went on and done that. But it is the year to do it. So, and then Man City, Newcastle. Newcastle did the opposite to Chelsea. They went attacking, they went pressing, they went hunting. To be fair, they did get their chances, and I thought James Trafford was brilliant in the first 25 minutes. Made some crucial saves where if one or two of them go in, if they score the first goal in the game, that's what they went for. They went for the first goal, didn't they? We said that on the last episode. They went for the first goal. If they could have got it, the crowd then would have been a different atmosphere, totally different environment, and they could have really, really stepped on the gas and put Newcastle at 2-2. But they didn't. As soon as the first one went in, why tactically they then stepped on the gas? Whether they still thought at 1 they had a sniff of doing something, even though they needed 3, which I couldn't see happening from 1-0. They stayed open, expansive, pressing, and City are too good. They'll pick you off time and time again. If you do that at the Etihad and you're not successful in that press, the one with Sven Botman going in, getting turned. I mean, he's in their half. He's getting turned, and it's 3v2. And you can't do that with the likes of Semenyo, on the break. And yeah, they got caught. Good finishing from City as well. Mamouche getting a couple, obviously, and Reinders. And yeah, it was over. It was over. You could have turned it off, after half an hour and know that City were going through. So, big final now. Let us know. Arsenal, City, what we thinking, people? It's going to be a good final. I'm looking forward to that. It's a proper final because they've got to put proper sides out, go for the first silverware. Obviously with the Pep thing as well. Are they going to be inspired by that point, to try and get as many trophies as they can this season? So a roundup of the Carabao Cup. It was enjoyable enough, but the 2 teams that had to do the work away from home that were behind on aggregate, that tried to have to risk, didn't really come off in any fashion. And the 2 teams that led on aggregate after first games, the two good teams there went through. So, yeah, good final. So looking forward to that. The next one, now this is going to cause some debate, some real debate. Now, I've been thinking, right, we did the Bruno Odegaard, we did the Gabriel Van Dijk, and I know the close in career timeline was probably Odegaard and Fernandes. Obviously, Van Dijk a lot older than or a few years older than Gabriel, but this one, there's a difference in age, and it's somebody that's been around the block, shown class season in season out against someone who's mid-20s, who is obviously playing at top level, amazing goal record, can eliminate anyone in his career, but who I suppose let's do it when they both end their career. Who do we think's going to have had the better career? Because we've got an argument for current, argument for future. It's a spicy one. It's another spicy fan debate. So get involved. Who is better, Harry Kane or Erling Haaland? I mean, I don't want to go quiet on camera, but I know what people are going to say, and I know whatever I say here, I could be lambasted for this. He don't know what he's talking about. Look, I do know what I'm talking about football-wise. That's why I've got a football channel. I've got a history and education in football. And sometimes you can look at a player and look at another player and say, well, Kane's not on Haaland's level, whatever. You have to give Kane credit. Wherever he's been, he's scored goals. Yes, he had loans in his early career. He wasn't an early riser like Haaland's been from day dot. But what a career. Wherever he's gone, he's scored the goals, and he's gone to another country now and he's scored goals. Yes, he's at Bayern, that scoring goals, but he's been amazing for 10 years now? It must be 10 years. 10 plus. And he's brilliant. And if he still come back to the Premier League now, he'd still be up there with Haaland on that goal list, competing with him. No word of a doubt. Now, yes, we can say he's not as dynamic, he's not as powerful. He's way better technically than Haaland. I'm not saying finishing technically, but he probably is. But technically dropping in, linking play, switching play, he's got a beautiful diag. Like there's more to his game than just being as a number 9. Whereas I think Haaland's game is all about the number 9. It's on the shoulder. You don't want Haaland deep receiving, getting involved too much. He doesn't have as many touches as Kane in a football match. He's not as involved, but he's a powerful machine who knows how to finish. And is an incredible finisher. So even now as I'm talking, I'm trying to think, who do you go for, Haaland or Kane? Presently, you would maybe have to say Kane because he's later in his career and he's done it over a considerable amount of time. Haaland could have anything happen. We don't know, so you probably can't only say Kane. But I think when both careers are ended, I would be shocked if Kane had scored more in his career than Haaland. And as one, obviously, he's going to win a lot less than Haaland because of Haaland's early rise in his teens and his early 20s. International goals is a funny one as well. They've both got incredible records, but Haaland, again, you would say should overtake Kane. So it's close, and I think it's close on what people are gonna let me know. But currently, I would go with Kane. Currently, it's not, but I think career-wise, Haaland will be the better player, the better grade, the better player that we all remember out of the two. So yeah, little spicy debate there. Could go into it more, but we don't want to be talking for 45 minutes about Kane or Haaland, although we could. If anybody's got a good argument to say why one's better than the other, please tell me. I think it's so close. It's the most difficult fan debate we've done yet. And that's what I'm here for. And we've got some beauties lined up, along the way. But yeah, Kane or Haaland, let me know your thoughts. All right. It's a tough one. Ronaldo, 41 today. I just mentioned at the beginning, 41. Now, I just want to say, what a career. Now, another fan debate is Messi or Ronaldo. We could have that, easily have that. I know what I would pick, but I'm not going to reveal. That'll be future episodes that you'll have to listen to for that. But I just wanted to say, as is its birthday, 41 years old. I mean, players used to call it a day, didn't they, years ago, at 33, really. Your legs were gone, early developer. He's been an early developer. He's a late developer, really, still playing at 41. Yes, he's in Saudi. His career's whittling down. He was slowing down. But the goals, I mean, he could get 1,000 career goals. Now, I know there's stuff going on with him at Saudi at the moment. Whether he goes back to Portugal and does it, he's going to play until he's got 1,000, isn't he? Because he's so driven. I think he was the first player that really invested in sports science, looking after himself, doing the extras, dedicated to his craft, and he's got his rewards. Now, early in his career, you would never have said, he had the talent, but you would never have said he would have had this longevity. And the more he became more of a striker than a winger, he just kept. I mean, he's a lesson to any child that might be watching this, or even an adult, if you're just a purist of the game and you want to know more about the game. Just his movement now, and how he's evolved from a winger into a striker that scores. He just knows the timing, where to be. He's got his goals. Yes, he's not got as many assists as Messi in his career. Obviously, slightly different types of player, obviously. But Ronaldo, it's his birthday, so it had to come up. We had to talk about Cristiano. He's had an amazing career. Deserves the life he's going to lead from it. And how old will he go on to? Do we think it's 1,000 goals and he retires, or the World Cup, and then does he do one more year next year, 2 more years? Could he be like that Japanese player that went on in his late 40s, 50s? Like, it'd be crazy to think, but he's looked after himself so well. He may be 41, but he's probably got the genetics of a 30-year-old, which is mad. And he could just keep going, and maybe he wants 1,200, and that sounds ridiculous to get there, but would you put it past him if he was playing at 45, 46? He could even drop down the levels. He could go Portuguese second division and notch another 30, like 50. So, incredible player. Happy birthday, Cristiano. Not that you're probably going to watch this, but if you ever tune in, I celebrated your 41st birthday, right? Great career. And, yeah, what a goal machine. What a goal machine. Another one. Oh, interesting one. Been watching this lad now for a few weeks, and he's a good player at Chelsea, and I was surprised when Newcastle signed him, but I want to give this lad a shout out, because every time I've watched him lately, Newcastle fans, you've got to be happy with him. It's Lewis Hall. Now, we're looking at England now, left backs, and there's competition, but Skelly is not playing, so his position is in danger, definitely. O'Reilly, yes, you can see him playing left. We've got Luke Shaw, who could still play left, and United are doing well, so we wouldn't discount him. But I'm probably missing someone. I'm sorry if I do. Sorry, football fans, if you say, what about our player? But just Lewis Hall, surely he's England squad bound again very, very soon. And surely his form, he's on the way to America and in Tuchel's squad. I think he should go, if he carries on this form. His career trajectory is huge. Newcastle, I would be worried because Tonali's been linked away, and you're losing some big players over there. We've bought players. It's not quite clicking yet for a few of them, but Lewis Hall is a major plus and a major signing that has been made. Eddie Howe likes signing these sort of players, like your Gordons. You'll keep developing their career, but I just think in a Newcastle team that has struggled in parts. And struggled the other night, he is a shining light. And he's only going to get better and better. So Lewis Hall for me. Will he go to America is the question. Football fans. I think he should, and I think he probably will. Because I think he's just a natural option there to go forward and back. He's good at both. He's technically gifted. His awareness of the game is good. His defending ability 1v1 is decent. So, Lewis Hall, I wanted to give you a shout out. Playing to America. And the next one is just the last one. Now, we could do a whole episode on this, and we won't maybe until his tenure's done. But you don't know whether to believe the news or not. But I get the feeling that he could be on the way out. Now, Man City fans are going to obviously, they'll be devastated that he does. because he's been an icon. He's revolutionised the game in this country, world football, obviously. And I believe he could do it anywhere on any budget because his coaching would be that good and his knowledge would be that good. So he'd improve any side. But Pep Guardiola, is he going? Please let us know what you think. Do you think he's off? And this is the signs. I mean, the signs are that he could be. If I was Man City, I wouldn't be releasing it and saying, yeah, he's going in the summer, because that would just upset everything. So I think if he does go, it'll be a quick, he's gone. And you'll just hear it in the news. You'll be like, it'll be that shock factor on Sky Sports News. He's gone. But I think he's going to go, maybe. I'd be gutted. I loved it when he came to this country, and I've watched his teams play and enjoyed him over the years. And he's put Man City on a whole new planet. But yeah, is Pep going? What do you think? I've got two names to replace him with. One maybe obvious, one less obvious. But the two I'd put in the ring for it is, I think, a natural replacement for him and perfect style to follow on and intellect would be Xabi Alonso. I know Liverpool, he's been a Liverpool legend, and Liverpool would want him there, clearly. And you wouldn't want to see him at Man City, but I just think Xabi Alonso would be perfect. He would be absolutely perfect. Style of play wouldn't change too much. Technical, he's got the right players, the right recruitment. He would be brilliant. He was brilliant at Leverkusen. Yes, it didn't work out at Madrid, but Madrid can be like a circus, and you cannot get given the time at times. And they definitely got rid of him too soon. No matter what, stick through him for a bad year, he will become good. So Xavi Alonso, perfect replacement. The other one I'd like to throw in, I just think his style of play would suit City, and he's got the brain and just playing into the number 6 and just the way he builds from the back, it's set up perfect, would be someone that I've shouted about before, would be De Zerbi. I just think De Zerbi, if you can't get Alonso, why not De Zerbi? He would be class, I feel, and a good City manager. So City fans, if he's going to go, what do you think? Xabi Alonso, or do you like the De Zerbi shout? I know it's a bit left field, but I just can see him there. I think he would be really good. So they're my two. Pep, if it's your last season, thank you for everything. It's been great to watch. Will he have a year off and go somewhere else? Or yeah, so Xabi Alonso or De Zerbi, let us know. And the last one today is with the Prem predictions. So a bit of a quiet week on football. I think we've talked about some really good things there. And I'm going to predict all the Premier League games off the cuff. So, there's not mass research have gone into these predictions. I like a couple of goal scorers as well in there as well. So we could pick them out, pick a couple of teams out that we fancy, or that you fancy from this, whatever you want to do. But just let me know what you think. Are my predictions way off, or do you think I'm going to have a good Saturday, good Sunday? On a Friday night, could I have a good Friday night? Could I get some of them right? So first, we're starting off with a Friday night game. So it's Friday night Premier League, which is mad, really. We haven't had one for ages. They throw them in now and again. And it's Leeds versus Forest. Yeah, Leeds versus Forest. Friday night. Sky cameras. What do we think? Now, I think Forest are in a decent place and Dyche doing a decent job. But I know Leeds have had a bad result, but I'm still backing Leeds at home. I still think Friday night's maybe even tougher to go there on a night game than it is on a Saturday. And I'm going to go Leeds 2, Nottingham Forest 1, and my first goal scorer pick is Calvert-Lewin. Add that into your little slip. All right, 2-1. Then Saturday, the 12:30 game again on the telly, to let you know, is big one. Big one for Thomas Frank. They're all big for Thomas Frank. It comes up against a 100% record for Mainu and Carrick and Man United. Man United looked alright again last week, and I actually think playing Tottenham suit Man United a bit more than playing Fulham, because I think Tottenham will be a bit more expansive and United will get holes. I just fancy United to keep the steamrolling going. And we're going Man United 3, Tottenham 1. Sorry, Tottenham fans, I know it's a big game, but fancy United again at home. Arsenal v Sunderland. Sunderland, great season. Arsenal steamrolling. Can't see Sunderland getting anything near away. I'm sorry, but they've had a great season at home. But I think Arsenal have got over their little blip, and I think it's going to be another win, another step closer to the quadruple and the title. All right, but I don't think it's going to be a hammer. I think it's just going to be Arsenal 2, Sunderland 0. Okay, Bournemouth v the Villa. Now this is so difficult to call. You could pick it either way. Bournemouth have been doing all right. Villa have kind of like now would they think they're out of it? So it does make sense, I think, to go for a draw, and that's probably the safest kind of option. So I'm going to go Bournemouth 1, Villa 1, a hard fought point for both. Burnley v West Ham. Again, another difficult one. Burnley's last result not good, but they've been decent at home. West Ham have kind of been on a bit of a revival, so tough one. And I'm going for another draw. I'm going 1-1 there as well. Fulham v Everton. Okay, Everton doing away from home. Fulham at home, and Everton games not usually packed with goals. Now you could say they could sneak it and Fulham could have an off day, but you could say Fulham, if they turn up, have the potential to win. So it's another draw, and it's back in the draw. Maybe just back the draws. But yeah, another goal scorer for me is Harry Wilson. So add him in with Calvert-Lewin. Fulham 1, Everton 1. Wolves v Chelsea. Now, Wolves are tough to predict as well at the moment because the kind of the pressure's off. They're expected to be going down. Some players are performing much better, but Chelsea, I just back Rossini at the moment. I just think there's something. There is people are saying that's an arrogance, but there's a confidence in his coaching. There's a confidence in him as a human. And I think that confidence goes on to the players. And even going out, I think he would have still said, look, boys, we play well tonight. And I don't think it will affect them. And I can see them going there and getting a win. And I think João Pedro is another one we could add in for a goal scorer here. So I'm going to go, Wolves 1, Chelsea 3. And I think that's a decent enough prediction on that one. And then the Saturday night game at 5:30, is Newcastle v Brentford. Now, Newcastle really have got to show up here. I think they need something desperate. And I think if Brentford score the winner, they could be in trouble. But let's go for another shock, another draw. This title of this episode could be the day of the draws, couldn't it? 1-1, Newcastle 1, Brentford 1. Brentford, again, don't underestimate Brentford. Cracking season, well set up, striker that can cause problems. I think if they get the opening goal, Newcastle maybe the best they can do is a draw. So 1-1. And then Super Sunday. So there's only two. We got the Friday night game, the Saturday games. It only leaves two games on Sunday. It leaves a game at 2 o'clock and the 4:30 one. And what I want to finish on, obviously. So the 2 o'clock one first, we have Brighton. Yeah, just double check. Brighton v Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got a vital point, I think, because if they'd lost that again, it would be... But I do back Brighton at home. And I know it's a derby, a bit of rivalry there. But I don't think Palace are yet in a position where they could come good the last 5 games, 6 games of the season, but players still settling in. Brighton at home, Christian Gross to kind of dictating there. So Brighton 2, Palace 1. I think it'll be tight, but 2-1. And then Super Sunday to finish off. I'm whacking Ekitike in for another goal to round up that goal scoring prediction. So a good few players there. And I think Liverpool v Man City. Man City have to win. If they don't win, it's over. But Liverpool, I think, will just have it about them because they're back into a bit of form. They're at home. We know what Liverpool have done to Man City at home in the past. And I think they're going to be on it. And I think this could be the day where maybe it all ends this year and we're crowning Arsenal as champions. And because the confidence after this, if City don't win and Arsenal win, that could be it. And I think Liverpool are just going to sneak it and get the better of them. And we'll go for a high-scoring Super Sunday, shall we? Ekitike to score. Liverpool 3, Man City 2, and a ding-dong of a game. But the Anfield crowd, Liverpool up for it, definitely wanting to keep that rivalry with City fresh and just remind City that we're not gone yet. Like, think about us next year. So, yeah, All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. All right, I love coming on. Brilliant. Episode 6. Can't believe it. All right, Football is Life rolls on. And that's a wrap for tonight. Stay safe out there, everyone, all right? Let me know in your likes and your comments, all right? Keep engaging with the channel, and I hope everyone stays safe, has a good weekend. And we're back for the Team of the Week next week, and look forward to the weekend fixtures, all right? Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.